Hey there, card folk. Speedrobo here, and welcome to today's episode of Draft Duel. I'm joined by the most famous Legacies Allure content creator of all time. No one challenges his title, Moonfassa. How are you doing today?
Flattering as ever. I'm doing really well. How about yourself?
I'm going to lie and say that I'm doing great. Um, Emotionally, I'm doing fantastic. Physically and mentally, I am exhausted. We've gotten every single backer and pre-order shipped at this point. I'm still going over to make sure that everybody got everything that they ordered and that everything's arrived okay. And the emails with tracking information are still getting sent out, but everything should be in the mail. And enough of that, though. Moonfassa, what can you tell us about our two competitors today?
Yeah, so we've got two long-standing players in the game. No Have Name I Want, which we'll probably just call Patrick for now, and Empire. And looks like Patrick's bringing his standard Gath list. Empire
Actually,
with
I have some
Urangard. Oh, is it not
news.
standard?
Patrick
Has news.
is not the red player today.
Oh my god! Look at that!
Yup,
I Wow, I misspoke. Okay, I just assumed, and my assumption was wrong.
isn't
What a
it
turnaround
wild that we're
here.
seeing Empire play Kaarthul? Patrick though, like he's been really labbing out Tristan as of late. I've heard some rumblings in the server that Patrick thinks Tristan is S tier. A
Interesting.
Until recently, everybody in the competitive scene regarded Sylvan as being the best faction in the game, but recently, Erengard's been had some like older tech rediscovered, I would say, and people are
Hmm.
people are paying attention to Erengard's power level.
Yeah, I am loving the state of the game right now where the players as a whole don't know a lot about the game and its strategies, and we're just adapting these new strategies as time goes on. And people say one card is S tier, and then the next month a different card is S tier.
Yeah,
And
uh,
it's really exciting to see all these strategies come into play.
I completely agree. This is exactly what I love about a game. When 1 month something's meta, and then the next month something else is meta, and then the next month something else is broken, and oh no, wait, actually, this is the most broken thing, really. That kind of just goes to show what a well designed game is, because it's not like we're getting new cards, it's not like we're getting power creep. This is just the card pool and how it is, and players are just learning and discovering and some players come in and say, oh, I think this card's really neat, so they put in the time to figure out how to make it the best it can possibly be, and that's then becomes like the next thing that's winning tournaments. And it's
Yeah,
just
I think
super
that's
exciting.
awesome.
So with this, I mean, it really does look like we've got a slingshot crag behemoth list from Empire. I,
Yeah, gonna give Patrick a taste of his own medicine here, I guess.
I mean, listen, the Skorgs with Kaarthul as a support caster are incredibly scary. It's one of my favorite ways to play it. And then up with Patrick on blue, we mentioned that he's bringing Tristan to be a control-style tank, but there's a lot of Heavy Knights. Oh, and Elite Swordsman, too.
Yeah, great to point out also, there's a lot of Steadfast in Patrick's list here. We've got two Halberders and two Pikemen as well, which is going to be a little bit of a struggle if Empire wants to throw in these Scourge Archers or any of the Charger units, really. He's going to have to think long and hard about which charging units he actually wants to place in there.
Yeah. But there is something that can get around that. Troll Shaman is a support spellcaster that can give one of your units the ability to ignore Steadfast.
Yeah, and if Patrick keeps on slapping these Steadfast units down, we might even see a Troll Shaman here. Typically, I think Troll Shaman is very underpowered. Not a lot of players like to use this card, but with that Steadfast Ignore, that's pretty huge in a matchup where Steadfast actually exists.
I agree.
On the other hand, these Steadfast units are very slow. If Empire has enough units to just kind of walk around these things, doesn't need to care about them so much, it might not matter.
Hmm.
Vesuvian Warlock is a very, very solid support caster.
Yeah, Vesuvian Warlock is just so good. It's a really fun card to play with as well. There's a lot of different things you can do with it between the silence, the heal prevention, and the root and the burn. Like, even I've done this before, is I've just Battle Furied my own Vesuvian Warlock and had it as an archer.
Yeah, it's an incredible archer with that Battle Fury, especially when its mana is all used up. It's not a dead card by any means. That's
Well,
like a
and that's
3
my favorite
damage
thing about
archer.
Gath, is that even when you use all of your mana, your Troll Doctor is still a 2-range archer with 3 health. That's
Yep.
fantastic.
Yeah, Gath has a lot of aggression, but a lot of staying power as well into the late game.
Yep. Grabbing
Now,
is that a short sword? That's a short sword.
that is a short sword. Interesting that he picks the short sword now, because Empire hasn't actually drafted a lot of 4 HP units. Typically, in this game, you want to be looking at your damage thresholds, and that's when you start including things like short sword and broadsword, is when you need that extra power boost. You want to be able to cleanly take out your opponent's creatures in one shot due to the combat mechanics in this game. So short sword's an excellent counter pick to a lot of 4 HP units.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing that I think is kind of a miss on picking the short sword right now. Razormane Manticore still in the enemy's list, and that Sunblade would have been nice to have.
Yeah, very true also. I think it's quite a heavy pick that it isn't going to accomplish a lot. Empire can play around that quite nicely.
Yeah, I agree. Your assessment is on point. Hey, do you think we're even going to see Spell Shock get drafted this game?
Probably not. And that's another thing, is like cards like Spell Shock, another counter pick card. We're gonna have to wait and see what Patrick drafts in order to actually make that decision. Because currently, obviously, there's no point. There's no casters at all. Even Tristan is only using Arrest. No mana abilities here.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Wait, Shield Bash isn't even in the... It's not even in Patrick's, kingdom.
Oh, how about that? That is really interesting. Shield Bash is a very, very strong card on Tristan, but
Yeah, I genuinely think
yeah.
it's weird when I don't see people take Shield Bash. I honestly think Shield Bash is in the top 3 abilities in the game.
Yeah, I can definitely see the idea that Patrick's going for here. You want some more defensive list, and Arrest is very good for that now that Tristan has Steadfast. You wait until the creatures get pulled up to you, and then you get a free action with that Arrest.
Yeah.
However, I do think that Shield Bash is very good, even in this defensive list against certain lists where taking actions is a really huge thing.
One of my favorite things to do with Tristan is Arrest plus Enchanter's Boots. Extra mana, extra movement, have him zip around the battlefield just conking boys on the back
Shield
of the head
Bash,
like
yeah.
his shield's a steel chair in a wrestling match.
Yeah, Shield Bash can cause some havoc. You gotta be careful about spending too much gold and putting the Tristan out of position, but I mean, if the rest of your lineup is supporting it, is really good, really strong.
So you know what I'm
Oh my
digging
God.
right now? Braveheart. I think Braveheart's just a great take against Gath in general, and make Tristan just one-shot everything.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary at the moment, but like in general, yeah, it's a pretty cool card. Especially against Hellbears and such.
Yep.
But now we've got both Hellbeardiers and both Pikemen drafted on Patrick's side. It looks like he's got his draft already picked out in his mind, and I think that may have been why the short sword came down. I think Patrick has already designed how he wants his board to look like, regardless of what his opponent's doing.
Oh, for
So
sure.
it looks
And that's
like a
actually
very
one of the
symmetrical
things that I
lineup.
always encourage new players to do. It's kind of like memorizing your openings in chess. Like, just know a good, solid opening, and kind of take it from there.
It's definitely one way to take it. A great way to start, because there's Legacy's Allure can be very overwhelming when you first get into the game.
For
There's
sure.
a lot of things to think about, so if you just take away that one complexity of drafting, then yeah, you're in a good spot to learning the game.
Gosh, I just love this game, man. I know that I'm one of the developers of it, but I love gushing about what we've accomplished here. Just
Yeah, I
so
100% share that sentiment. I've
yeah,
been enjoying this game thoroughly.
yeah. Oh my gosh, it really is slingshot. Oh, that's fun.
Here he is, and I think the slingshot is an excellent pick here, though, because of how defensive Patrick is building his lineup here.
Yep, it can get around
The only
steadfast.
threat, yeah, the only threat currently is that heavy knight, and that's it. The rest of his units can be plucked away with that goblin slingshot.
There's no tactician in Patrick's list.
Yeah, Patrick has been discussing in the Discord server that he very much dislikes Tactician, and I think he's just putting a boycott on him.
You know what? I can respect that. He like Tactician's a great card. Patrick's identified that. Patrick knows it. But he right now it's a matter of pride. You know, he's trying to win it without using it. And you know that Batman meme where he snaps the gun in half. This is the tool of the enemy. We do not need it. We do not use it. That's Patrick with Tactician. He just breaks the
Exactly.
Tactician. We do not need it.
Great to note here that Manticore finally comes down, and yeah, you're right. There's no option for Sunblade anymore.
Yeah, that
I
Sunblade
think that's
going to
be
really nice right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big mistake on Patrick's side. We do have the Dawnbringer Paladin to counter, but it's only one unit.
Yeah.
I would love to have more than one unit to counter this with, because currently the entire lineup here from Patrick is very weak to this Manticore.
I like seeing Grunt come down, kind of the Gath equivalent to Pikeman in many ways. Love Grunt, I really do. It's one of my favorite cards.
Yeah, and an excellent counter to Pikemen specifically.
Yeah, the stat
stats
line
just
just
trade so
into
nicely.
Pikeman so cleanly.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yeah,
Gath
we might
has
even
so many awesome cards. Goblin Archer's just insanely overtuned. Like, it's so good. Zips around,
Yeah.
shoots stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of hard countered by that crossbow, man, to be honest.
It is. It's got more range, but I think these archers are going to be more of action lackeys until the late game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just because the steadfast is going to shut these guys down a lot.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, even if you are ranged, you still can't charge and shoot a steadfast. It doesn't just apply to melee. That's a good point to bring up.
I think another good point is looking at the warlocks here. Typically, warlock is such a powerful card in Gath, and you want to draft like maybe 2, even 3 of these cards. In this particular lineup, though, I think we might only be seeing the 1, just because. Again, it's such a defensive lineup from Patrick. He doesn't really need the roots, nor does he need the silences.
Yeah, I don't think Warlock's gonna be doing that much this game, which is very interesting to see.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's not often we see defensive builds.
I guess that's just how you play around Warlock, right? You just...
Oh, he's coming! We are seeing the
I
Shaman
genuinely
here.
think Troll Shaman's great here just because of how much Steadfast there is.
Yeah, 4 steadfast units. Like I said, I personally don't really like this card. Usually it's very overpriced, but in this particular scenario, I think it's excellent. We have 5 steadfast units.
Okay, so I don't know how I feel about this, but we've seen 0 priests on the Erengard side.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see 1. Now, there's not a lot of debuffs that Patrick has to worry about.
Yeah,
we
that's
do
kind of
have
why I'm
just
thinking
the Warlock.
1 I think is good. In most of my Erengard stuff, I tend to draft 2, but 1 should be fine here.
Yeah, I think it's always good to include 2 healers in your list, unless you're Gath. Just in case of mass debuffs from your opponent, these are very good at removing debuffs, especially the priest since they heal 1. But you don't have to draft both of them. They typically get drafted based on how many debuffers your opponent has.
And there it is, priest showing up in the priest spot.
Yep, makes sense. He's going to have a lot of use out of this priest also with that slingshot on board. Just plucking things away. I think the priest is going to get very efficient gold value.
Yeah, I agree.
We could technically even go for double priests in this lineup just because of the goblin slingshot and how difficult that's going to be to deal with.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you
I
just
don't
heal
know. I
those
think
two.
one priest is good.
One is probably fine, yeah.
Wait, is that Chain Lightning 1?
It is Chain Lightning 1.
Yo,
Very
I
cool
love
card.
it.
I actually really like this card. A lot of players will be drawn to like Chain Lightning 2, Chain Lightning 3 because it's just big power. But it's often hard to get 3 chained units. I think Chain Lightning 1 is so efficient for its gold cost.
Oh my gosh, yeah, 2 damage and 2 damage. Oh, it's delicious.
Yes. Really cool. We even have an Izabek staff in Empire's list. I'm curious if that ever comes down in matchups, because typically you could just like upgrade your Chain Lightning if you want the extra spell power.
He only runs Chain Lightning 1, so...
Right, I guess it's for Lightning Bolt 3 maybe. Deal 4
you can
damage.
grab the staff for Chain Lightning 1. Yeah. Yeah, that's... yeah. And if you've got Lightning Bolt as well, it's useful there too.
Empire is filling up this board. Only missing 3 units here, 7 gold left. Wow. It's gonna be a full action game.
I could see Grunt. Genuinely, what I'm thinking is Grunt, Lackey, Lightning Bolt 1.
Makes somewhat sense. I wouldn't have minded the Dragon Hatchling. One thing with Grunt here is we've got a Heavy Knight, and we've got the 4-power Tristan that Patrick invested into, right? Got a lot of 4-power here, actually. So that 4 HP can be a little bit sketchy. Dragon Hatchling's really nice to hit into these steadfast units.
Good point. Good point. I didn't think of that. With Dragon Hatchling's ability being an ability, not an attack, it does get around Steadfast.
Yeah, Steadfast will only prevent charging. This Heavy Knight Patrick's gonna have to play really defensively even because of the Skorgs. This is just massive damage onto that Heavy Knight there. Even the Dawnbringer Paladin, like, we're gonna see a very defensive playstyle from Patrick here, I think.
I think so too.
So we've got 7 gold left. What is it that Patrick can draft here that's gonna be useful?
Elite Swordsman?
Elite Swordsman's an option.
Ooh, okay.
Tempest Mage.
Tempest Mage?
I don't actually know how I feel about the Tempest Mage. Empire's got a lot of like far range stuff.
Yeah, I'll tell you how I feel about it.
In close.
I hate it. I think that's...
Yeah, I think
that's gonna come back to bite him.
Yeah, it's 4 gold, which is a huge investment. It's really short range. And like I said, like, Empire's got really long range. He can stay out of range of this pretty easily, I think.
So
we'll see how the match goes out. Maybe Patrick sets up a really defensive lineup. Actually investing the Seraph here. Ooh.
Ugh, I don't like it.
We are going 7 gold into this Tempest Mage plan.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's... I think if Empire can just break his defenses and, like,
and of course Spell
literally
Shock
just 2 damage
now,
in there.
Right? Like, obviously.
Yeah, great pick now. Because we've got quite a few casters on the board now. 2 gold investment, sure.
Ugh, this is not great for Patrick.
Yeah, I think it'll be very interesting. Patrick's gonna have to play his turns very carefully.
I'm very curious to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I don't think any player has a disadvantage or advantage here. I think if Patrick plays this really carefully, I think he's got a chance here. Just the Tempest Mage I'm really curious about. He's going to have to put a lot of investment into this right side just to protect that Tempest Mage and get it in an actual useful spot.
Yeah, well... Ugh. Yeah.
So Battle Fury coming down on that Scoring Archer.
Mm-hmm.
Threatens the Paladin. Kind of.
Yeah,
So we'll see
threatens
what
the Paladin,
Patrick's
kind
plan
of.
is.
Yikes, I don't know. I genuinely, with the Battle Fury on the Scourge Archer, honestly, I'm looking at it from Empire's side as just a way to get a free action. It's just, here's a buff on the card that's almost certainly going to want the buff, and also, now you're the guy who has to make a move.
Yep, and this first move also threatens any units from being able to step up. Oh my. Patrick actually... Oh, what? We're going
Cannot
for
be
a
attacked.
Sunburst?
He's activating Dawnbringer Paladin's superpower.
We are sunbursting without the damage. That's very interesting.
I actually like it a lot, because Sunburst's damage is good, but what you really want it for is to be able to develop a piece super early in the game and not get punished for it.
That's true, though. I think there's a lot of value in that 1 damage Sunburst. It just causes so much devastation.
For sure, there can be, but it entirely depends on how you want to play it. And looking at Patrick's board, let's think about what pieces he can develop, right? Like it's just Dawnbringer. So by developing the Dawnbringer now, it gives him the potential to develop other pieces like his Halberdiers and his Tristan a little bit later in the round.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm scared about it. There's a nasty cave troll right beside here. If we can manage to deal 2 damage to this with magic damage, I'm scared. I don't know. I don't know about you. I'm scared with this
way. If the cave troll moves up, what do? You put Tristan next to it, and then Tristan arrests it. There's no healing. There's no debuff removal on the enemy side. So like, whatever.
Well, I don't know if that's possible. The cave troll can just move to the center space, right?
How's the cave
troll? There's
troll
no arresting to be done. Well, the right above the slingshot, I mean.
Oh yeah, sure. I see. Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess at that point. Man, Tristan's just eating this spell shock. Alright.
Yeah, he's got regen, so why not?
Oh, yeah! Felguard is nuts!
Yeah, perfect spell shock, soak.
Oh, that's so good. Actually, that's really good.
Mm-hmm. But yes, so yeah, and this is what I was seeing. We just deal some magic damage, bring it down to 5 HP, healer's tapped, now bam, in cave troll range. However, I'm not sure about
this is actually worse, because Troll Shaman can buff either of the Skorgs, and then Slingshot can just shoot.
Right, I guess that's possible. I'd rather take the trade with the cave troll if it's possible, but yeah, that's a late game option, or end of round option.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm looking at. It's an end of round option. If you don't have anything better to do with your Slingshot and Skorgs, yeah, you can just kind of take the Dawnbringer, which is the only thing that checks your Razormane, and then Razormane's free to just do whatever it wants.
Yeah, another reason I just think it's really spooky to send up your only Razormane answer into the center.
Yeah.
Like, Patrick's actually playing this quite aggressively. Okay, maybe the pikeman's going backwards.
Yeah? Yeah, this is a weirdly aggressive stance that he's taking this list, but I'm excited to see what he does with it.
Yeah, he might be a little bit threatened by the slingshot and being like, I'm gonna have to answer this or I'm just gonna get pelted away. But I don't know if he can. So Empire's got a lot of pieces here to move. Actually thinking about... I was hovering that Helion. I think we're gonna be seeing these Skorgs stay up for a little while. Yeah, the archers passing makes sense. I think, like we mentioned in the earlier stages of drafting, these archers aren't going to get a lot of use, probably until the later rounds.
Yeah, right now they're just action chumps.
So what do you want to see from Patrick here? What is the game plan that's going through your mind that wins him this game?
Honestly, oh, gee whiz. Okay. So, I don't know, right? And the reason why I don't know is that Patrick has surprised me so thoroughly. I did not expect him to be pushing up all of his pieces like this. Like, it kind of makes sense. When he's pushing up his steadfast pieces and then tucking his other pieces behind them, he can constantly push forward his aggressive line like this. I just didn't see it coming. I'm gonna be real. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, it could work. That slingshot, I think, is one of the key pieces in this matchup that both players are going to have to think about.
Yeah.
So I think Patrick is going to have to invest as much as possible into killing this. It's just... Maybe the plan is going to be to throw up these steadfast units and get the Heavy Knight in a position where it can charge, but also be protected at the same time.
I agree.
Interesting that the Manticore moves up here.
I don't
threatens a little
know
bit of
if I
space,
like
but...
that for the Manticore. I guess he's just trying to keep it out of range of the Tempest Mage.
Yeah, I'm unsure about it also because this is forcing you to kill the Paladin now. And I know I said there's some pretty nice trades onto the Paladin here, but I want to keep my options open. Like, what if something juicier comes up or something? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe there's a free Heavy Knight to take with those plays instead.
There's some nice trades, but they aren't that nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, just moving up the line. This could work out. We'll see.
Very steady. I'm curious what's going to happen with this Tempest Mage side, and if Empire is going to be thinking about that.
Yeah,
This left side here is very well protected, but I think Empire probably wants to shift over to right side to threaten this Tempest Mage, or maybe just dodge it entirely. Maybe it's not even worth it.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Once again, the line is moving up. It's getting developed.
Yeah, I think with this Manticore positioning, this Tempest Mage can actually get into a spot where he can threaten it.
Yeah, you could move, this Tempest Mage could move to G6 confidently.
Yeah. Probably no way that you can move it up twice due to this Warg Archer in the back here. It's a little bit too much to protect.
I think that's way too risky. A G6 is a good, very good spot.
Yeah. So what I want to see from Empire here is probably... Ooh.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
What is this?
I don't like that.
We're gonna light... I don't think we can lightning bolt that though.
Yeah, you can, because you can trigger slingshot and then use its combine.
Right, yeah, we have to move the slingshot.
Yeah, and now you
otherwise it's
can
not
lightning
possible.
bolt it. So, sure.
It's an option. I really would have liked to see if I could set up a cave troll take, save these resources of the Helion, and hey, end of round, if you can't take the first turn, then hey, sure, Helion it. But
Yeah.
I think that cave troll take is looking so fine.
Yeah, I think Cave Troll is probably a little bit better. It got the job done though, so sure.
Gets the job done. I really like having options open. Like I said, you set up the cave troll to take it, and worst case, end of round, if you realize cave troll's not going to be able to take it, you can't take the first round, then sure, Helion. We're probably going to see very defensive sort of structures by both players, actually. Due to this importance of the slingshot, we see Empire protecting this very well. Oh, the grunts. Yeah, I guess we don't have to protect it,
This
but...
is some chess style, let's just both poke up our pawns as our early game kind of situation. I'm not opposed to it. We'll have to see how this pans out.
Yeah. So, I would love it if the Warg Archer could go up to H3. Not this turn, because there's a crossbowman there, but on H3, he actually has shooting potential onto the Halberdier.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good point. I think... Yeah.
I think it's a free shot.
Yeah. Oh, no. If the crossbowman's going to go anywhere, I think H5. Yeah, that's the stuff.
Yeah, and this had to happen to block the Tempest Mage, but now, think about this. If the Archer was on H3, you could also just shoot the crossbowman. And that's a free crossbowman, because he has to block that spot.
Yeah.
Really would have loved to see that.
I think H3 was probably a little bit better.
And I think Empire definitely has the actions for it. Patrick's on only 2 actions left here, so he easily could have tapped him out.
Yeah.
Though I will say this Dragon Hatchling's still in range. Troll Shaman just doing a pass. There was an option to give ignore Steadfast on the Scourge Archer. The Scourge Archer is in range of taking out a free Halberdier.
Oh, that would have been pretty good, huh?
And then you open up the Tempest Mage. I don't actually understand why the Troll Shaman's passing here.
Yeah, Troll Shaman, power up Scourge Archer, Archer runs in, takes out the Halberdier, super worth it, big value right there. And then Tempest Mage.
And then you threat, yeah.
Yeah, Tempest Mage is basically done.
This Tempest Mage is worth 7 gold, you have to realize, because this Spell's Cradle Seraph really does nothing. You can only really power up the Priest. And that's not really that much, like 1 extra healing, oh boy.
Yeah.
But like, that's a 7 gold unit essentially. If you could take this Halberdier, open up that defense, you're suddenly threatening with a lot of stuff. Dragon Hatchling, Warg Archer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe he's keeping it open for the Heavy Knight, but I mean, you could just pass with any other unit, I think. You have the actions.
I agree.
So now Tristan is open here. We could move the Cave Troll after we tap this Heavy Knight. We're not going to be able to one-shot it, sadly, but we'll be in a great... we get arrested, I guess.
Think, honestly, I think I'd just move Cave Troll up 1 to D3.
Yeah, arrest is not -1 movement, okay.
Yeah.
And
Heavy Knight could take the Warlock.
Let's see, if the Warlock's taken... What does Empire do? Does he pass or does he shoot? Probably takes the shot.
No, yeah. Actually, I think Heavy Knight takes Warlock's probably bad. Scourge Archer just comes in, puts it into threat range, and then Heavy Knight has to chicken out and run away.
Yeah, you really can... And, like, the Warlock's not really that threatening. It's not doing a lot here.
Yeah, the Warlock's whatever.
I don't even know if you needed to heal the Heavy Knight, to be honest. If we can just go for defensive lines, drain that mana.
Yeah.
Could be using this, because this is going to be a slow, grindy match, right? So we could be using the mana on Priest to take efficient heals rather than debuff removal.
That's a really good point. Removing the debuff at the time seemed really good, but I think just waiting and holding it probably would have been better. Just like, oh no, my Heavy Knight. Anyway, I was going to not do anything with it this round.
Yeah.
Regardless. Ooh, I don't know about that one, Chief.
It's not awful.
It's pretty bad because that's a dead Heavy Knight.
Is it a dead Heavy Knight?
It's 100% a dead Heavy Knight. Let me break it down. So Scourge Archer zips up to D3 to shoot and deal damage. What's your only option as Patrick? Move your Heavy Knight away,
Well,
right? Guess what? It's
I
still
don't
in
think
range of
so. I
Goblin
think it
Slingshot.
takes the slingshot because, like I said, this is a key piece in this matchup.
Yeah, but then at that point, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it, right? And I've traded. Yeah, I guess it's fine. You're technically, because you're taking out the hatchling, so you're technically getting 13 gold for your
I
12, but that hatchling had already used 1 fire breath.
I personally think it's a great move here that I didn't actually see because the slingshot is really, really strong in this current matchup. I think the slingshot needs to die, and Patrick found a way to kill it.
All right,
And I'm willing to trade my Heavy Knight for it.
Listen, I'll tell you what, I own the fact that I'm a completely washed former tournament champion who hasn't gotten legitimate results in like 6 months. So, you're probably right on this.
This is just my thought. We'll see if it pans out, but I do think that Slingshot's very strong in this matchup. And Patrick playing Slingshot himself so much, he might realize the impact of this card as well.
I don't know.
We'll
I'm a
see
coward.
if he
I
goes
probably
for
wouldn't
it.
have done it. Like, yeah, sure, at this point, technically, you're up on gold. So, fine.
Going for the Kaarthul.
Oh, you know what?
It seemed like he was hovering those two, but
I think that's... You know what? I actually think that's valid. Battle Fury, Spell Shock, Chain Lightning, those are all problems too. And Goblin Slingshot, once you're done with the Scourgs, kind of stops being as scary as it was, you know?
I am still on the Slingshot train. I think Slingshot was scarier in this particular matchup than the Kaarthul was. But that's just me. I think Kaarthul is very manageable.
Kaarthul's extra actions, he's extra damage, he's extra charging, he's just sauce for eons. Like, killing the heroes is usually pretty good here.
I don't know if it's as worth the sacrifice of the Heavy Knight, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because one issue now is the Slingshot. Well, Patrick has no more charging units. Slingshot's free to just shoot things. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
You're talking me over to your side. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, wait a minute. Am I wrong?
Moving the archer back, fair enough.
Yeah, it just gets
it's
it away
just
from
gonna
the
get
archer.
shot.
Sure.
Yeah. I think Emperor's gonna play this back though and see that he could have taken the Halberdier and was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Because that would have opened up the game so much
Well,
in
I
Empire's
think the
favor.
thing to do at that point is to Troll Shaman. Even there, instead of moving back the Scourge Archer, you just Troll Shaman your own Scourge Archer. Give it charging, +1 power, ignore steadfast, and cannot be dealt damage. And then pick and choose your favorite halberdier to not exist, you know?
Yeah. And this Manticore is going to cause some trouble. With that Tempest Mage on board, maybe it's slightly less trouble. I don't know. He can also just fly off to the left side or something.
Yeah, Razorman Manticore can just go to the left and not care. Oh, here we go.
Extra range. So that Manticore probably wants to move now.
Yeah, cast
The
range.
Grunt is going to get pegged instead. And Goblin Slingshot is going to be open. So I wouldn't mind seeing the Manticore be more defensive. Perhaps. Take a little step back. Do some shimmies, because I want to protect this Slingshot. Now that the Heavy Knight's been invested, we can protect the Slingshot. And I think that's really important to do.
Hear me out on this. Goblin Slingshot moves to Grunt's Hex and launches it into the Tempest Mage, killing it.
It's an option there. It puts the slingshot in a very vulnerable spot, though. I'm not sure.
Not really. Like, that's fine.
So you put that, like, the crossbowman doesn't matter so much.
I guess
honestly,
you just move
yeah.
your halberdier next to it, but that's why you don't move your razormane manticore.
Oh, you were saying instead of the manticore play. Yeah, fair
Yeah,
enough.
instead of the manticore right now, you just kill the Tempest Mage.
Really? Goes up and
I
shoots
don't
the
think
Warg
that's particularly good because now Crossbowman's dead to Goblin Lackey and then Warg Archer murders Tempest Mage.
Yeah, I'm very confused by that move.
Or Grunt kills it too. Yeah, that's pretty good. And now Tempest Mage says, "Uh-oh, spaghetti," and dies.
Yeah, it won't die yet because Patrick did set up that 1 damage for the Halberdier to take it, but, like, I think Empire's got plenty of actions just to play around this.
Yeah,
doesn't need to care too much. We might even... Slingshot's got some options here. As Empire, would love to see this Halberdier getting tapped in the future. We could probably find a kill on it and find a safe space for the Archer to come in. So I'd probably be now looking at this left side of the board.
Yeah, for sure.
Using some units over here. Even just taking that Heavy Knight.
Oh, Goblin Bomb. Yeah, that's good.
Goblin Bomb makes sense. I don't think it's going to get any more use.
Archer, 1 damage on Warlock. Checks out.
Ooh, you know what we can do with this Warlock now? We can actually burn the Priest.
Ooh, oh no, that's gross. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this Warlock's pretty much useless now. I'll trade 5 gold for a dead Priest. Yeah. Can he heal himself,
funny.
though?
I like that. That's actually really funny.
I guess he can heal himself.
Yeah, but it's still funny.
It is funny. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it, actually.
I've been almost falling
if he can
asleep
heal
all
himself.
day, so I'm really glad to be here commentating some Legacy's Allure. Because I'm now, like, oh, I am fully attentive and alert. I am excited to see how this shakes out.
It's an interesting match. I honestly love these more defensive matches. We've seen a lot of aggression from most Legacy's Allure players just because of all the players figuring out how the game works, but we haven't seen a ton of defensive builds.
Yep.
So this is definitely interesting to see.
Both these players being incredibly cautious, using the game's, positioning to take advantage of it. It's good times.
Yeah, and that round 7 win condition is definitely going to play a role in this particular match.
We'll see. Pieces are coming off the board at a pretty decent clip, though, so I don't know.
They are. It is only round 2.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I like that the Warlock stepped back. There's no point in just sacrificing it for 1 mana off the Priest.
Yeah. This is smart. Let's get those left flank. Let's get that left flank that's not really doing anything more into the action. Very smart from Patrick here.
Mm-hmm.
Halberdier and Pikemen are so cool, man. I like them.
They're cool. I feel like they fall flat a lot of the times. Just because Steadfast is an okay keyword, but you can often get around that pretty nicely.
Yeah.
They're very expensive. Like we were comparing the Grunt to the Pikeman. Currently the Grunt can just step up to this Pikeman and bully it around.
Yes. But they're cool.
I'll submit to you there. They are cool.
I like the fact that they can attack and then scoot back to their home text. Like, this, it's fun.
That's a cool mechanic for sure, yeah. Quite tricky for Empire now, actually, in this stage, where this crossbowman on the left side is threatening quite a lot here. I'd probably honestly just do a nothing move, like with Shaman, pass it, or step back the archer, the Goblin Archer.
So maybe you can help me out here, Moon. Ruling question.
Ooh.
Goblin Slingshot can launch itself, right?
It can.
That's hilarious.
It is very funny. Definitely something to be watching out for in your games. It is only 2 damage, but it will extend the range, essentially, by sacrificing itself.
So we're bloodthirsting the Warg Archer, just gonna sacrifice it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand this one at all. I'm not sure where this is going. Like, I thought the Tempest Mage was a pretty juicy pick here.
Yeah.
But are we threatening, like, a pikemen? I don't think the pikemens are very threatening.
Warg Archer moves to F4, shoots pikeman, Goblin Slingshot moves up 1, combinable with it, kills Tempest Mage?
But, yeah, see, now the Halberdier is free to move because he's no longer required to defend this Tempest Mage.
Yeah.
Like, I think Patrick's absolutely cool with trading Tempest Mage for this Warg Archer just dying by himself.
Yeah, I'm 100% okay with that.
Don't know what our answer is to the Tempest Mage anymore now. Maybe we're not caring about it because he's a little bit far back. I mean, I guess we can shoot this
Sure,
Halberdier.
I don't know.
Maybe it doesn't matter. Or maybe we're gonna Goblin Lackey this Archer. Oh, going up and shooting.
What?
I would have loved to keep the crossbowmen open, I think. But sure.
Yeah.
We'll threaten the
fine, I
Goblin
guess.
Archer. Empire already down to 7 minutes on his clock. This has been a very long, mentally draining game from both players, I think.
Yeah. And I think that's fun. Like, we've got 2 really, really, really good players, 2 of the best out here. They're going to be pushing each other into time pressure, no doubt in my mind. Like, this is what I expected to see, time-wise.
Definitely. I'm really confused what this Warg Archer is doing now, because I honestly thought it was just going to be to take an action, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I genuinely have no idea.
Because taking an action was pretty cool, then we could maybe set up a trade on the right side Halberdier. But...
Oops, I guess.
maybe there's some kill he's trying to find on Tristan? I don't see that.
Okay, so if he deals... No, he can't kill... okay, so Goblin Lackey brings Warg Archer to 4, which deals 3 damage to Tristan, which gives him 2 health, and then Goblin Slingshot can launch the Warg Archer to kill Tristan, I guess.
Or launch a cave troll.
Or a cave troll, I don't know.
Or a grunt.
This seems bad.
It does. I think that Tristan could even just run away once that Warg Archer comes in.
Or just, like, scoot back. What?
Really?
I don't like that play. That seems not great.
I agree. Like, with that power boost, I honestly thought there was going to be some setup on the Tristan or something.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't
we do
know
3
what the heck
damage, he's
that
at
was
2
supposed to be.
HP. And then we launch, like, the grunt into it for the killing blow. Like, that was a perfectly fine play. Though the Tristan can escape, so we gotta, like, do some other plays, maybe.
Yeah.
And here Tristan come. Alright, Slingshot gets a free shot now.
Sacrifice Warg Archer, take out Pikeman. Like, move to G2 to do it is sure. Yeah.
Now he passes. This cave troll can threaten the pikeman. Could threaten the halberdier actually too. I kind of like this.
Yeah.
Cave troll
move
moves up to C4.
I think that could be something.
Yeah. Because that'll force Patrick to either move the halberdier, giving up going first in the next round, or he just passes, and now Cave Troll's forking 2 units. Yeah, love it. And yeah, he's gonna move, and now Empire gets the first move. And I don't think this move is really that... This really doesn't accomplish anything.
I don't know what a good first move would be here. Sure.
Probably saves the grunt, yeah.
Yeah.
Crossbone takes the shot. That's gonna kill the pikeman here. Kind of maybe preferred saving the pikeman, but we'll see.
I don't know. I think it's fine. I think either way it's fine. Cave Troll's gonna be annoying for sure this game.
Yeah, definitely. I think the arrest is gonna help. That disarm's pretty nice, but Patrick's running out of usable units.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue that I'm looking at. Is there's a lot of like little chumpy boys left, but there's a lot of heavy hitters over on the Gath side. Razormane and Cave Troll are still here. That's not great.
Yeah.
Yep, burn and root.
Right. Seraph actually in range of that Cave Troll, pretty neat.
Yeah. Well, you can knock this Cave Troll down to half health this turn.
Yeah, that's something. That's pretty huge, honestly.
Yeah.
Still got this Manticore to deal with, but now the Manticore could even fly into this Tempest Mage once he's tapped out. Another thing to be paying attention to is the Scourge Archer on the left here is being threatened by the Crossbowman. We might see a Troll Shaman come on to the Archer this round at some point.
Yeah, I agree. I could see that happening for sure. And then you could use the Scourge Archer to take out Halberdier.
Yeah. Or maybe we're actually just going to protect it. I like that Goblin Archer move. Okay, and Tempest Mage tapped out. I guess it's not really that worth Manticore going up there. You're in range of that magic damage being exhausted. I like this left spot better, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, those longbow archers are in trouble.
Yep. And I think Empire's just going to probably avoid this Tristan for a while. Take out the rest of his army, and then it'll just be Tristan left over.
Yep.
Archer just taking the escape rate.
That's fine. I think it's fine. Personally, I would have put the Troll Shaman on it, taken the Halberdier. Just removed one more usable unit from my opponent's board.
Right. Now, what's the order of Regen and Burn?
You resolve it in the order that is most advantageous to the card itself. So
right.
Burn is cancelled by Regen.
Right. Ooh, moving backwards. I like it. We're gonna try and take down this Cave Troll. And now Slingshot can just take out that Tempest Mage. Perfect. Halberdier takes a pass. Grunt probably just threatens the Crossbowman. I don't think the Halberdiers or the Crossbowman's Oh, really? Wait. Isn't it Patrick's go? Why not just move the grunt to B1?
Yeah, absolutely. Wait. Oh, yeah. No, this is actually pretty good. Tristan takes the cave troll.
Yeah, I don't understand why the grunt didn't move, though. That was just a free crossbowman.
Yeah. Well, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is, I guess. Okay, let's take a free Tempest Mage then.
Nope.
No?
We don't want a free time. Oh, it sets up a kill on the Halberdier. Yeah. Well, now Halberdier...
Sure.
Yeah, just
Sacks
sacrifices
himself.
itself to get the damage. Valid. Now crossbowman can kill it.
That's pretty nice. Now Empire, if he wants to save the grunt, has to spend an action. If he doesn't want to save the grunt, he loses an action regardless. So that's pretty cool. I think I'd just keep the grunt here. Shoot the Tempest Mage or something. Is... Gonna move the grunt. Not sure what that does. We'll get a free little shot on the Manticore. I like that a lot because now he's in kill range of Tristan.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's really good, actually. Back over to Empire. Slingshot, I still want it to take the Tempest Mage. That is still there. That is still free.
Yeah, I want to take this before he moves out of range. So I don't think you're really looking at slingshotting anything else this round. Three minutes on Empire's clock. It's gonna come down to the very last second in this match, I think. Really does not want that
almost
Tempest
certainly.
Mage.
Empire is known for using his clock to its full potential.
Yeah.
Yep, Grunt goes down. Another Grunt takes its place.
I think this Tempest Mage is gonna get off scot-free.
He might. And we were just saying how Patrick was running out of usable units. Well, how the turntables have turned.
Yeah, they've certainly been very turny.
Basically,
Ooh.
just this Razormane Manticore left. And honestly, if I'm Tristan, I don't really care if I take, what is it, 2-3 points of physical damage return?
Yeah, 4, I think. Takes the Shield Bearer. And Tempest Mage gonna sacrifice himself?
I don't...
I have...
Yeah, what? Just move it back to, like, F6, my guy.
Strange plays by both players, and I don't feel bad bullying them because they're both really good at this game.
Oh, yeah, no, they deserve to be bullied. We gotta keep their egos in check.
Exactly. And also, this Troll Shaman, I think, would have been excellent moving up there to threaten this Longbow Archer.
What is this Scorch Archer doing? Where's he going?
I don't know. We're
What?
actually shooting the Longbow.
Not the
I think the
Tempest Mage?
Longbow
Alright.
might be fair, actually. The Longbow Archer, to be fair, was more threatening.
I guess. I don't know. I think it's smelly.
Crossbowman just...
Arrest Slingshot.
Arrest the Slingshot, you think?
put
Yeah,
him in
it's...
jail.
Well, I don't know if I want to move Tristan up. I think Tristan is Patrick's piece to winning this game, and it's going to be very, very difficult to deal with in future rounds. We're almost to round 7. Like, if Tristan moves up, he's in Scourge Archer's range. A little bit spooky. does kind of have to move this crossbowman. It's in a dangerous spot. Move over and shoot. Yeah, might as well. Do something useful with it. And then the longbow archer gets taken. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the Tempest Mage isn't doing much. That's probably fine just leaving it open. I think the longbow archer was more threatening. Empire had the better play.
Okay, yeah, I can see it. We'll give it to him, but just this once. Empire got
Tristan?
2 minutes left.
Yeah, and Tristan moving away from the fight, actually. Look at this. Round 6, he wants to take this Manticore. Round 7, Tristan's nowhere near the center.
Ugh, yeah, it's not great.
I think Empire's fine with trading off that Manticore because there's no way anymore to win for
No.
Patrick if he takes that.
Yeah, basically. And Empire did a really good job saving his slingshot ammo with that Scourge Archer until he really, really needed it in the final rounds.
Does not move the grunt into the crossbowman. He really does not like taking that trade, apparently.
Oh, this is actually kind of clever. Just get the free action with the disarm.
Right, okay, fair enough. I wouldn't mind just keeping the Manticore there. You bait the Tristan away, that's just a free win.
Yeah.
Now, Empire is the attacker, but I think it's good to note that as the attacker, it's going to be pretty easy for Empire to get a unit on the center.
I think so.
Assuming we get a kill, which I think was very likely with Scourge Archer and Troll Shaman on board.
I think there's enough damage to just power through that Felguard's battlesuit here.
Yeah, and as Empire, I think he's considering passing maybe, but yeah, you don't really need to. Just move up all your units. Warlock needs to threaten center, of course. It's round 7 next turn. Just move all the units to threaten center. Can even get one poke into the Tristan with the slingshot. I don't think there's too much to think about here, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think Empire's got this one in the bag.
Just kind of buff Scourge Archer at this point.
Yeah, you got all the numbers you need here. Just send that grunt up to threaten the crossbowmen and such. And the Tristan. Puts the grunt there? Really?
I guess.
I mean, yeah, I don't think it really matters. I'm just like no-braining this and being like, well, just threaten the center. That's all we really need.
Yeah, right
if
now.
Tristan takes the grunt, like.
Threaten center, win game.
Yep. And not a lot of options here.
Yeah, just kind of arrest Razormane.
Yeah. I think first move by Empire is going to be shooting that priest. Just take away the action. Oh. Yep, arrest.
Ugh, I don't know. I don't. I think this is game here.
Yep, all we gotta do is buff the Scourge Archer, and you got enough stats to take it, I think.
Yep, and then you can move Warlock
give
to
it
center, and
piercing.
that's game.
Yep. So the defensive Erengard list didn't quite do it.
That was a really close match,
I
though.
think there was some.
I enjoyed this. I
Yeah,
genuinely want to give Patrick's list a shot after this.
it's a cool list for sure.
And
Definitely a
if
cool
you
list.
at home are wanting to try either of these lists out, join us on the Legacies Allure Discord server and get some games in on Tabletop Simulator. Not to mention, the game is officially out. It's in many local game stores. Our good friends over at Level Up Espresso have been hosting tournaments and posting pictures of the product, so check them out as well. Moonfassa, any parting words for us?
That's about it. Buy the game.
Yes,
I'm excited to have the physical copy here with me as well. I hope everyone is enjoying their copies as well. And
yep.
thanks again for having me on here, Speedrobo. It's
Oh,
been a pleasure.
anytime. Anytime. And we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.